夜ミルウォーキーが映っています。アメリカンファミリーフィールド背番号18番山本由伸が映っております。ハスキーさん200円チャットで実況チャットでありがとうございます。今日もよろしくお願いします。八村はすごいんだよ。もちろんそうだよね。ちょっと八村塁の姿をね、僕はまだ理解できてないところがね、絶対にあると思ってるんで、いや、バスケの試合もね、ちょっと見ていきたいよね。まあそんないろいろオフシーズンはね、いろんなスポーツも見ていけたらなとは思っていますが、まずはですね、このメジャーリーグ熱いポストシーズン、10月走り抜けていけたらなと思いますので、ロサンゼルスドジャースが最後の最後勝つ瞬間までね、一緒に見ていきましょうか。よろしくお願いします。ドジャースはフィリーズを3勝1敗で下し、ブリュワーズはカブスを3勝2敗で下したそれぞれ地区シリーズ。現在、リーグ優勝決定シリーズを戦っています。昨日の試合、リーグ優勝決定シリーズの開幕、ロサンゼルスドジャースが2対1、痺れるロースコア展開を制して、今日の第2戦へと向かっております。さあ、それでは今日のその第2戦のスターティングラインナップ、見ていきましょう。まずはミルウォーキー・ブリュワーズのスタメンから、見ていきたいと思います。1番ライトはチョリオ、2番セカンドトゥラング、3番キャッチャーコントレラス、4番指名打者はイエリッチ、5番ファーストボーン、6番センターフレリック、7番サードダービン、8番レフトバウアーズ、9番ショートオーティズ、先発のマウンド、ペラルタです。ブリュワーズが誇るエース右腕、先発のマウンド上がってきます。続いて、ロサンゼルスドジャース今日のスターティングラインナップ見ていきましょう。1番指名打者大谷翔平、2番ショートベッツ、3番ファーストフリーマン、4番キャッチャーはスミス、5番サードマッシー、6番ライトテオスカー・ヘルナンデス、7番セカンドエドマン、8番レフトでキケ・ヘルナンデス、9番センターはパヘス、先発のマウンド山本由伸です。リーグ優勝決定シリーズでの快投を見せてほしい山本。前回登板はね、少し乱れ、そして、このブリュワーズ戦ではですね、今シーズンなんと1イニング持たずノックアウトという投球もあったというね、山本ですけども、そんな、ちょっと山本にとってね、ネガティブな情報も跳ねのけて、今日の試合、山本らしいピッチング見せてもらえたらなと思います。それではですね、両チームともに先発ピッチャーだね、直近の成績、またシーズン成績見ていきましょうか。まずはドジャースの先発ピッチャー山本由伸、前回登板はフィリーズ戦でした。5回途中を投げて3失点投球での降板だったというのが前回登板。その後ね、中継ぎ陣が火消しをしてくれたので、なんとか3失点というところでしたが、ちょっと内容自体もね、どうだったかなという、山本由伸のピッチング。今日はそこから、中5日の間隔でマウンドに上がっていきます。その前が10月の2日のレッツ戦。7回途中を投げて113球の熱投、9奪三振2失点投球という結果が残っております。そこからは中6日で前回登板、そして今日は中5日で、このブリュワーズ戦のマウンド。山本由伸、今日はね、前回登板で、見せた課題の修正をしっかりとして自信を持って向かうというお話をしておりましたので、やってくれるよ、山本由伸はね。続きまして相手ピッチャーのペラルタです。シーズンは33試合に登板、17勝を挙げているブリュワーズのエースピッチャー、防御率 2.70 というシーズン成績を残しています。前回登板が10月の10日、カブスとの地区シリーズ、4回を投げて3失点投球での降板という前回の登板でした。初回にね、8分にスリーランホームラン浴びてしまって、その後2、3、4回立て直してゼロを作ったんですが、球数もいっていたという関係、4回で降板だったというのが前回登板。その前のカブス戦は6回途中を投げて2失点投球。この試合もね、2本のホームランを浴びていて、ブッシュとハップにホームランを浴びていました。ということで、ポストシーズンに入ってからの失点は全てホームランでの失点になっているというペラルタ。ちょっと一発構成というところもね、今日は期待をかけていきたいロサンゼルスドジャースです。 レギュラーシーズンも含めて直近6試合だとね、全試合でホームランを浴びているというペラルターですので、この辺りがね、ドジャースにとっては付け入る隙になってくるのかなというピッチャーになっています。アメリカンファミリーフィールド、ロサンゼルスドジャース対ミルウォーキーブリュワーズ、リーグ優勝決定シリーズの第2戦。昨日の初戦、ロサンゼルスドジャースが取って迎える今日の第2戦。さあ、この後1回の表ドジャースの攻撃が始まっていきます。大谷翔平ベンチから登場、背番号17番。ネクストバッターズサークルへと向かいます。そして山本由伸もブルペンでの投球練習、外野でのアップを終えて、ベンチに戻っていくところですかね。よーし。今日は大谷の一発にも期待していきましょう。さあ、ブリュワーズサイドも選手が登場します。ピッチャー、ペラルタを先頭に、それぞれのポジションへと選手が向かっていきます。今日ももちろん満員アメリカンファミリーフィールド、黄色のタオルを回し、また拍手を送り、ドジャースにとっては完全アウェーという空間の中で、この後1回の表の攻撃から始まっていきます。いや、ペラルタはすごいピッチャーですね。ただ、全く隙がないタイプのね、ピッチャーではないかなとは思いますので、甘いボールはね、来る可能性十分だと思いますから、そこを逃さず捉えられるかというところだね。よーし。昨日は1点差に最後迫られ、なお2アウト満塁の大ピッチ。いやしかもトゥラングの足元に襲うボールもあったりとね、いやもうマジで紙一重の戦いでしたけども、なんとかロサンゼルスドジャースがその戦いを制しました。いろんな風もあったけどね、ドジャースにとってはね、打球の質自体は良かったという試合後のデータもありました。あとやっぱセンターのね、プレーっていうところもね、もちろんドジャースにとってはミスプレーでもあったんですけども、とはあんなことなかなか起こらないのでね、それくらいブリュワーズの守備も締まっていて、好ゲームになったなという昨日の試合。さあ、今日はどんな展開が待っていくか。また昨日とは違うゲームなんでね。ドジャース打線の力を見せていこうか。さあ、先発のマウンド、ペラルタ。おっと、キャッチャーからの返球、ボールをこぼしています。それを拾い直して、投球練習を行っていきます。よーし、いや、ポストシーズンでの大谷翔平伝説もまた見ててほしいですよね。あとは山本由伸ですよ。いや、昨日のね、スネルから、そのバトンを受け継いでのマウンド。昨日はスネルがね、降板した後、山本由伸と熱い抱擁を交わしていました。明日はお前に託すぞと。いや、そんなね、気持ちも伝わるスネルからの抱擁。山本が気持ちを込めていますので、先発好投リレーも続けていきましょう。さあ、ゲーム始まります。ロサンゼルスドジャース。
to the brink in 5 games. They are just now getting back around to their ace. And Peralta gets a key start in game 2. We're ready to go. Ohtani steps in. Peralta's first pitch. It's a strike. And we're off and running in game 2. It is a noticeably louder and more live wire crowd here tonight. Trending more towards what we saw in game 5 against the Brewers and the Cubs.
It was really hard to sustain any cheering last night with the pitching of Stout. Nothing happened for 8 innings.
He put the blanket on him.
But even early here, right? You felt the energy tonight compared to last night. Fans knowing they really need to get this one with Freddie on the mound.
Peralta starts Ohtani with 2 breaking balls. Next one on the way, it's another spinner.
BA, hitters have a book. And if you're in their book, it means they hit a home run off you. Well, Freddie Peralta is in Ohtani's book.
That was an opposite field smash at Dodger Stadium, about halfway up the bleachers at Dodger Stadium. And to Lauren's point about Shohei Ohtani, and even though he's won for his last 20, he did walk 3 times yesterday. Twice he's had intentional walks. And the Dodgers scored a run on a bases-loaded walk. One against the Phillies, one last night. And a swing and a miss, and he stuck with the breaking stuff. And that's how the night begins.
Well, maybe you're right, Brian. It's Cambio Freddie now. As he came after Ohtani with the breaking ball. Gets right on the side of that ball.
4 curveballs.
And I don't know,
right?
yeah, I don't know if it was the break or the change in velocity that got Ohtani out in front.
Curveballs and sliders on the attack to Ohtani. Peralta throws all those pitches with the same grip. Just a little different velocity on him as Mookie Betts leads off, and he starts him with a slider. So it is spin city out there for Freddie Peralta to start this game. There's his first fastball.
Boy, he'd like about 50 of those tonight, wouldn't he? A perfect fastball pitch on the outside corner.
Dodgers have not lost on the road yet in the postseason. They swept the Reds at home in the wild card series. Won the first 2 games, eliminated Cincinnati. Won the first 2 games in Philadelphia. And then they win last night in game 1 of this championship series. They have been road warriors. And when you have a veteran team and a veteran manager in Dave Roberts, they are unfazed by the hostile environments they've been in. Straightens up Betts, and the count goes to 3-2. Milwaukee desperate for a long start to try to put their beat-up bullpen back together. Ooh, that one just missed, and Peralta walks Mookie Betts. And a base runner here with 1 out.
Very close pitch, but one thing we've learned in the postseason, Mookie Betts does not swing at pitches off the corners.
Oh, hey, take that pitch.
Right?
1 out base runner. Take a look at our quick fire stats presented by Frigidaire. So the last 10 road games, the Dodgers are 8-2 on the road. Big numbers, scoring nearly 6 runs per game. And that's going through destinations like San Diego, through Yankee Stadium, Philadelphia,
Citi Field,
Citi
and
Field.
Philly. I mean,
Yes.
4 tough places.
Freddie Freeman, who homered and had a double last night. Betts took off, then stopped as Freeman takes a ball.
And you want to talk about the strength of the Dodgers pitching staff, guys. Ohtani, Betts, and Freeman since the start of the Philly series. Coming in tonight, 10 for 61. 1 home run, and they're 5-1.
That was last night, right?
Peralta against Yamamoto. What a pitching matchup. 2 of the best pitchers in the National League all year. Both dotting the statistical rankings in the NL in all the major categories. Fly ball into right field. Churio puts it away. And Freddie Freeman is retired. 2 outs in the first inning for Peralta.
Threw a lot of breaking balls to Ohtani and Betts. Threw a lot of fastballs to Freddie Freeman.
Peralta, an all-star this year for Milwaukee, was the wins leader in the National League with 17. 17-6, a 2.7 ERA. His ERA was a run lower at home this year. 1.77 home earned run average. And if it lines up for the Brewers the way they want, he'll get 2 home starts in this LCS. He would get game 2 and game 6.
Mookie's starting to increase that lead
Yes,
over
he
there
is.
at first base. There's that changeup from Peralta, first one of the night. He's starting to creep out there and get a little bit of bigger lead. 2 outs, kind of the perfect time to go.
Only had 8 steals this year in the regular season. Didn't run as much as he normally has. As Smith fouls that one back. Back to the fastball following the changeup. And it's 1-2 on Will Smith. And he strikes him out. Freddie Peralta puts up a 0 in the first. Crowd is loud. Brewers coming to bat. Bleachers failed to score the first. Now the Brewers coming up for the first time against Yamamoto. It's Jackson Chourio, Bryce Terang, William Contreras at the top of the order. Christian Yelich, Andrew Vaughn, Sal Frelick make up the middle with Caleb Durbin, Jake Bowers, and Joey Ortiz. And Bowers is the new entry into that starting lineup. Pat Murphy shaking it up a little bit. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, his third start of the postseason. And on the first pitch, Jackson Chourio sends one into deep right, and that one's gonna fly out of here. Chourio with a home run to start it offensively for the Brewers.
Tell you what, man, you talk about bringing this place alive. 106 off the bat for 89. Chourio just missed one last night in the 9th inning, which would have been a walk-off 3-run bomb. Boy, Peralta kind of silenced the bats early, and then he brought this place alive.
Here is Bryce Terang, who made the final out last night. Ronnie, I think the theme tonight for the Milwaukee Brewers offensively is the 21-year-old Chourio is all smiles, but it has to be ABS. Anyone but Snell looks pretty good.
Look at that. He's so strong the other way. You know, for young hitters, you don't usually see that oppo approach and pop, and he stays through it as good as any young player in the game.
Second homer of this postseason for Chourio as Terang chases one upstairs.
There used to be a time in this game that you could bounce past yourself into it as a starting pitcher, kind of throw a first pitch fastball to the first hitter. Those days are gone.
Oh, and a lot of your best hitters now are hitting leadoff.
That's right.
1-2 to Terang, bouncing ball, and a tough play. Nice pick by Muncy. Good hands. Max Muncy with a 5-3 put out. Had a bit of a modified shift on for Terang, and the first out.
Well, you're always taught, right, to go get the ball. And this was one of those, you got to make a decision. You see one step back, and Max with a nice play coming in.
Well, he knew the speed of Terang is that he had to come in, but it ended up being a in-between hop, so.
William Contreras now. First ball swinging. Aggressive approach by the Brewers to start this one tonight. Contreras, talented catcher. Been an all-star. Was an all-star starter 2 years ago. He and Will Smith, two of the best. Freddie Freeman knocks it down, finds it, and finds Yamamoto covering first for the out. So after the home run, a couple of ground outs for Yamamoto in quick fashion. We're 7 pitches into this one, and there's a run on the board and 2 outs already.
You know, that's what a veteran does. He knocks it down, and the most important, he didn't panic.
No.
He took his time. That's how you make that play.
And then great job by Yamamoto being over there to give him a clean path to throw it.
2 outs for Christian Yelich now. Another first pitch swing.
You know, B.A., you said anybody but Blake Snell. I heard Jimmy Rollins right before the end of the pregame show, and he made a great point. Sometimes an offense, as good as Yamamoto is, you're so excited to see anybody but Blake Snell. And it can be tough.
Brewers showed a few signs of their normal character in the 9th inning last night.
Got some walks, Bowers with the big double.
Stolen base by Yelich in that inning. And the rally came up a run short. They had the tying run at third base. The Brewers had the winning run in Yelich at second base. Blake Trinan came on to get the final out and struck out Terang to end it. Sasaki Trinan went the 9th. After Snell's brilliant 8 innings, one of the greatest starts that we've seen in postseason history. It ranks right up there with some of the best starts you can come up with in your mind from postseasons past.
I know the best one you ever saw was the Roy Halladay one, you call it. Best one I've ever saw was Chris Carpenter for St. Louis against the Phillies.
Broken bat, Yelich, a little roller over to Muncy, and he'll make the play. 3 ground ball outs. Yamamoto settles in, but not before some fireworks to start it. Second leadoff postseason home run for Chourio. He's got the Brewers on the board first. Jackson Chourio has him up early at American Family Field. The Brewers a 1-0 lead on Chourio's leadoff homer. He's hit 2 leadoff home runs in the postseason. Did it last year in Game 2 of the Wild Card Series. And just the 3rd leadoff home run in a postseason in franchise history. Chourio's got 2 of them at age 21. Peralta back to work facing Max Muncy. It'll be Muncy, Teoscar Hernandez, and Tommy Edman coming up in this 2nd inning. Muncy now sporting the glasses. Missed a good chunk of September. He and Tommy Edman missed a good part of the month of September. It was knee and oblique problems for Muncy. He returned September 8th. He did not start a couple of games against the Phillies in the division series. Of the 4 they played, Phillies rolling all left-handed starters out there with Christopher Sanchez and Luzardo and the bulk pitcher and Ranger Suarez. As Muncy pops this one up, foul grounds. Caleb Durbin is under it, and there is out number 1 as we send it down to Lauren Shahadi.
And Brian, I asked Pat Murphy what he needs from Freddie tonight. He said 20 innings. Efficiency and innings is the answer. He said his pitch count can get high because he's a strikeout guy. Ron, Pat can't afford to use too many bullpen arms for bulk innings in this game.
Hey, listen, Pat Murphy needs from Freddie Peralta what Blake Snell gave the Dodgers last night. It'd be hard to match that 8 innings of 1 hit ball, scoreless, but something resembling that. You know, 6 or 7 innings, maybe 1 or 2 runs.
Peralta is a high pitch count pitcher. He usually goes deep into innings, a lot of pitches per plate appearance, lots of foul balls. That's always a concern with Peralta, and through the years he's tried to develop pitches. As you mentioned, Ronnie, the changeup is part of that, try to get more ground ball opportunities. 19 pitches in the 1st inning for Peralta. Teo Hernandez takes a ball. Both of these starting pitchers give up very few hits. They were 1 and 2 at opponent batting average this year. Peralta's opponent batting average 193. That was 2nd best. Yamamoto led the National League in that category, just over 180. So there's not going to be a lot of balls in play against these 2 cats tonight.
And the hard thing, right, is against this Dodgers lineup, you can't ask them, hey, just pound that zone, get me deep in the game, because you also want to keep them off the board.
3-1 the count to Hernandez. Jammed him, a pop-up on a 3-1 count, close to the rail. That's going to end up on the dugout. Nice catch.
Nice catch.
Souvenir from an LCS game.
It looks like an 82 jacket.
Had it the whole time.
Sweet hands, well done. He's rocking the whole timeline of Brewer logos there.
He just dropped an owl, too.
Reminds me of Jeff Cirillo, that hat right there. 3-2 to Hernandez. And a high fly ball into left field. That is way back there. And that is going to be a gone home run. We are tied. Hernandez, like Freeman yesterday, hits a towering fly ball home run out of here. Hernandez with his 4th home run this postseason, his 10th RBI.
Well, 3-2 with that curveball, and it just kind of floated, right? And Hernandez was able to stay back on it. Got a little out in front, but so strong and such a great hitter. 106 off the bat. Launches in that 2nd deck.
Quiets down this crowd. Here's Tommy Edman now. Well, Hernandez hit a key 3-run homer in the division series. Had a 2-homer game in the wild card series. His 2 years in the postseason for the Dodgers have been so impressive. A lot of talk about his base running yesterday. If he just tagged properly, there is no chaos on the bases. We don't have that play we had last night, the 8-6-2 put out. First time we've ever seen a play like that in the history of the game.
Dave Roberts said before the game, they went over that rule. Because it happened to them last year with Conforto against the Mets in Citi Field.
That's where you want to tell Dave sometimes, Dave, not everybody listens, right? Like,
That's right.
but to his credit, he admitted right away, I screwed up.
He owned it. Tommy Edman, line drive to right. Churio eases back, makes the play for out number 2.
Yeah, sorry to say, a lot of times those rules meetings end up being nap time for the ball players.
Absolutely.
I talked to Dino Ebel before the game, the third base coach. He goes, you know, I said tag. We always tag, even if it's 20 rows up into the seats. We're going to just tag just for the rhythm of it. And then I said go. And then Dino asked Teo, did you hear what I said? He goes, I did. I just brain locked. So what are you going to say? Just keep swinging.
All out.
Kike Hernandez now.
Good pitch on there.
Hernandez continues to be a postseason star. OPS around 880 in his career in the postseason. 2 hits last night, including a double. What a weapon to have near the bottom of a batting order. He's hitting 8th today, Kike Hernandez.
Remember in the 9th inning, Max Muncy led off with a walk. He would eventually score. And Kike Hernandez tried to get 2 bunts down and did not. On the 3rd slider, he hit it to right field. That got it going.
Professional hitter.
Yep.
2-1. Count evens at 2-2. Dodgers a prolific offensive team. They were second in the majors in OPS this year, combining on base and slugging percentage. Only the Yankees up the middle. That's a base hit. And Kike Hernandez with a 2-strike single. Hernandez Teoscar was a 2-strike homer, and now Kike with a 2-strike single to extend the inning.
One of the things that the Brewers did so well in getting past the Cubs is that they seem to get a 2-out hit all the time to prolong innings. Well, that's the kind of hits they got. That one that Kike Hernandez just got.
And now it's Andy Pages, talented Dodgers center fielder. He's up there hacking at the first pitch. And a breaking ball from Peralta. Pages is in a major slump this postseason. 0 for 3 last night. However, 27 homers in the regular season. He drove at 86. Had 14 stolen bases as well. He plays a great center field. He's got one of the strongest arms among center fielders in the league. And a matter of fact, with Sal Frelick in center field tonight, you're watching 2 of the best throwers of the baseball in center field, as evidenced by that cannon last night from Frelick. Pages to right field. That is down fair and into the corner. Kike Hernandez off to the races. Churio gets it back to the infield, and Hernandez on his way. Throw to the plate, not in time. Dodgers grab the lead as Andy Pages drives in Kike Hernandez with a 2-out RBI double.
Well, and when you're not going well, guys, what are you always kind of told? Try to shoot one the other way, let it get deep, and give Pages a lot of credit. You saw him go swinging at the first pitch, that one right there. Let it get a little more deep, and drove it down at Kike with great speed. And here, when you get that ball down in that corner right there, it's very tough. And you have a guy with speed not to score.
Many times, right fielders in today's game try to take away the gap, so they're shifted over to right center.
Yeah.
So anything down that line is a long run to get there.
Third hit of the inning. Back-to-back 2-out hits produce the second run, and the Dodgers are in front. And back to the top of the order we go with Shohei Ohtani. Pages with his first RBI this postseason. In there, 0-2 the count. Fastball from Peralta. Showed Ohtani a lot of breaking balls in the first inning. Teoscar Hernandez with a homer, tied it. Andy Pages puts the Dodgers in front with a double. He'll be off and running with a crack of the bat. And Shohei Ohtani lines one to right. Churrio's there. Hard hit ball, but a liner right at the right fielder, Churrio. Productive inning for the Dodgers. Two-strike hitting, Teoscar Hernandez. And then a two-out RBI from Pages. 2-1 LA. We go to the bottom of the second.
Don't want to miss a postseason game? Just tell Siri, show me the upcoming MLB schedule.
American Family Field, home of the Milwaukee Brewers, team with the best record in the major leagues this year. 97-win team. Pages and Teoscar Hernandez put two on the board in the top of the second. And a 2-1 Dodger lead. Andrew Vaughn leads off for Milwaukee. Yamamoto back on the mound for his second inning. Jackson Churrio with a leadoff home run for the Brewers. Vaughn on the ground. Muncy boots it, recovers. He's got time, but the high throw pulls Freeman off the bag. Vaughn is not a fast runner. Muncy rushed that throw, and it'll be an error to start this second inning.
You're not lying, B.A. Watching from up here, you talk about in slow motion. For Vaughn, this ball just kind of hopped on Muncy. And even here with a good throw, he might have had him at the end. Maybe with Freddie's ability to stretch, but a break for the Brewers, getting someone on base early.
And here's Sal Frelick now. First ball swinging, that's a foul ball. The ball is dead, called foul. Those are not reviewable. Freeman tried to get to it as quick as he could, knowing he had it out.
No, you never know what to make of stats. We get so many numbers up here. First, the replay of this curveball that he pulls just stays foul.
Yeah, good call.
Nice call there. But Freddie had to continue with the play until he heard call.
And a bouncer to Freeman. He fires to second. Out there. Yamamoto covers. That throw goes off the dugout facing. It'll stay in the field of play. And Frelick will replace Vaughn at first base. Freddie Freeman is so nice at first base. He is such an impressive glove and a huge target. Infielders love throwing across to him. And he's great starting this.
Well, and watch what he does right here. Freddie Freeman's one of the best. You see how he gets the angle. He creates it way in. Vaughn was running on the grass. See him right there? But Freddie continues to move so far in.
Dodgers do catch a break here. There's netting in front of the dugouts. And instead of going into the dugout, it hit that netting and stayed in the field of play. So one away. Here's Caleb Durbin now with Frelick, a base stealer at first base. Durbin on the first pitch.
Very aggressive, the Brewers hitters so far. The Dodgers defense had that same play against Philadelphia in the division series. Mookie threw a perfect throw to first base. Emmett Sheehan just missed it. That one, not a good throw by Mookie.
Be very interesting to see if the Brewers deploy the running game against Yamamoto. He's not been great in that category. As Durbin whistles one foul. A lot of early swings by the Brewers. They've had first pitch swings 5 of their 7 batters, and Durbin jumping on the first 2 offerings.
Frenchie, not only early swings, but good contact, even if it's going
good
foul.
Contact, but these ball splitter, sinker are in on some of these righties, and those are the ones that you just can't keep fair.
0-2 the count on Durbin. And a called strike 3. Stuck the fastball right by him. And the first strikeout for Yamamoto. It is out number 2 of this second inning.
Vanda Pharmaceuticals. Innovate in the service of people's pursuit of happiness.
2 outs for Jake Bauers, the one newcomer in the starting lineup for the Brewers from game 1. He did have a pinch hit appearance in the 9th inning last night. He doubled off of Sasaki. It was an automatic double that bounced up and out. Pat Murphy telling us before the game, Bauers is a bat they need in the lineup. Need some offense, need some thump in that lineup, and that's what Bauers brings him.
And think about this. Vaughn got a 2-0 count and then rolled it over, but after that, Sal Frelick swung at both pitches. Durbin comes up first 2 pitches again and then gets frozen.
Bauers, one hopper to Mookie Betts, and he makes a play that'll end the inning. Error to start the inning. Yamamoto pitches around it, and the Dodgers lead 2-1 after 2 in game 2. is your home for live betting, and all customers can get a live home run boost. Download the app, use the promo code HEAT when you sign up. DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is yours. Got a Magic Brew here this year in Milwaukee. What a year it has been. Their third straight division title. We've seen a lot of winning here. Both of these franchises in a golden era of their organization as Mookie Betts jumps on the first pitch. And one pitch and one out for Freddie Peralta. Dodgers have had great history, obviously, but they are in the postseason for the 13th straight year. 12 of the 13, they've won the division. The only year they did, they won 106 games and still advanced past the Giants. Of course, World Series wins in 2020 and last season. They're trying to become the first team in 25 years to go back-to-back. Got to go back to the Yankees, the three-peat Yankees, late 90s, early 2000s. And the Brewers are in a run of 7 of 8 in the postseason, 3 straight division titles, 4 in the last 5 years. Doing it with one of the smaller payrolls in the smallest market in the major leagues. It is a David versus Goliath feel, even though Dave Roberts is not buying that story from Pat Murphy.
Well, the Brewers organization is the one that small market teams look up to. They want to mirror their success.
Freddie Freeman here with one away, takes a strike. It's 2-1. Here's Mark Atanasio, owner of the Brewers, an LA resident. Two and two the count. Will Smith due next. Dodgers get 2 in the second and grab the lead. Freeman back up the middle, hits the mound, narrowly missed the base, and Joey Ortiz makes a play. That had disaster written all over it for the Brewers, but somehow it avoids the base, and it is a 6-3 putout.
Did you see Ortiz laughing? It's like it went through a minefield before it got to
right
him.
here. Almost off his foot then, and it might, I mean,
I think it hit
did
it.
it hit the top of
hit
the
on
bag?
top?
I think it caught just a little bit of it. And we should get the good shot here.
Base Camp presented by T-Mobile. 2 outs here, and it's Will Smith.
Now, Freddie Peralta, 2 very long innings to start with pitches. To get a quick 1, 2, 3 here would be huge
Go
for
a long
him.
way. Yep.
So be pitch number 8 of the inning. 26 pitch second inning. Dodgers get a home run from Teoscar Hernandez and a 2-out RBI double from Pajes. Here's the 1-1. Smith out in front, pops it up, and this will be a nice and tidy inning for Freddie Peralta. 9 pitches to get through the third. 3 up and 3 down goes the Dodgers, and now the Brewers coming up down 2-1.
one thing you learned about Blake last night and Yoshi tonight?
I think with Blake yesterday, I don't know if I learned it. I think I've always known Blake is just a dog. Like, I don't understand how anyone can hit him. It's just so unpredictable.
They don't.
It's insane. It's all 4 pitches he can throw at any count. No one can sit on anything. It's insanely hard to hit offense.
And what about Yoshi?
I think he's cool under pressure. I think he's always consistent. Like, anytime I see him during his workout or when he's on the mound, bullpens, he's always everything's the same. Like, very, very just consistent all the way around, and he's just a fun guy to watch.
Tyler, you saw these Brewers twice this year. What'd you take away?
They're really selective. They don't swing and miss a lot, and that's part of my game. They control the zone really well. But I think as long as I'm like in the zone with some good strike the ball stuff, I'll pitch well.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Guys, you just heard it at the end. What did he say? They're very selective. They don't go outside the zone much. Now we got 6 and 9 Brewers hitters to start. First pitch ambush. Again, I just feel like they're not getting into ABs. And you got Yamamoto out there, 24 pitches, one time through the lineup.
Back to the top of the order as Jackson Churio takes a strike. Tyler Glasnow, we might see him game 3, may see him game 4. It's either going to be Glasnow or Ohtani in those first 2 games in Los Angeles, which will be games 3 and 4.
No, that's foul, that's foul,
that is
that's
a
foul.
foul ball. Smith tried to grab that before it went into foul territory. Gabe Morales, home plate umpire, all over that. But Glasnow, he pitched the gem against the Phillies. Obviously watching this lineup closely. And it is a little out of character. Brewers 2 plate appearances thus far of 4 or more pitches. And that is something they normally do quite a bit from everybody in their lineup. As Churio cuts and misses and Yamamoto wipes him out. Big fastball upstairs for Yamamoto. Picks up his 2nd strikeout. 2 men out here in the 3rd.
Well, he's done a great job of using his fastball with 2 strikes. He got Durbin to look at one on the outside corner, and Churio swings through one on the inside corner.
And now it's Bryce Terang. The talent of the Dodgers starting rotation, in fairness, can take you out of your game plan. We saw that with Snell last night. Looks like Terang is up there with a patient approach. There are aces among us with Snell and Yamamoto, who's been their ace all year. Shohei Ohtani, he'll get a start in this series. Bryce Terang dumps one into the opposite field. So Terang with a 2-out single.
And you just get in the count a little bit, guys. You take first pitch splitter, he throws you the get over curve. Oh, well, it's 1-1. Then you get a pitch you can handle, right? And that's what we've seen from this offense majority of the year.
Yeah, and the humble approach.
Yeah.
Not trying to hit the ball out of the ballpark.
Sometimes that home run to lead off the game, it's like birdie in the first hole, man. Your host.
There's the name for that. And Contreras, little half swing foul ball. Brewers did some of their best work in the series you covered, Ronnie, with the Cubs. They scored 22 runs against the Cubs. 14 of those were with 2 outs in innings. The home run by Churio gave them their 12th run in the first inning in their 7 postseason games. It's been an early offense when it's been right. Yamamoto with a nasty splitter, and he's got Contreras 0-2.
Watching Contreras in that division series, he likes the ball out over the plate. He doesn't like the ball crowding him.
Had a couple of key home runs in that series against the Cubs. 0-2 pitch, line shot right at Betts. Hit it like a bullet, but right at the Dodgers shortstop, and Yamamoto puts up another 0. We go to the 4th, 2-1 Los Angeles. This is the 2025 National League Championship Series. It is presented by Loan Depot. Two of the team's aces going at it tonight. Some fireworks to start. Jackson Churrio's leadoff homer had the Brewers in front briefly. Teoscar Hernandez launches one out on Peralta, his fourth homer of this postseason. And then Andy Pages with a two-out RBI double, 2-1 Los Angeles. We go to the fourth here in game two. Max Muncy, Teoscar Hernandez, Tommy Edman will start it. Brewers starting pitching was a strength during the regular year, but Jacob Mizorowski, the phenom who made the All-Star team after just 5 starts, got into an innings limit. He's available, but coming out of the bullpen these days. And Brandon Woodruff, their other starter, who's been a stalwart here for Milwaukee, coming back from shoulder surgery. He has a lat injury right now and is not on the active roster. Pat Murphy trying to piece together a pitching staff. Heavily used the bullpen, and because the Brewers and Cubs went in a 5-game max division series, Milwaukee just now getting around to their ace here in game two. Peralta will be available for game 6 as well. Max Muncy, a liner caught by Vaughn. Andrew Vaughn goes up the ladder to make a play and take a hit away, an extra base hit from Max Muncy.
He timed this perfectly right there because that had double written all over it.
Well, there's no threat of him being called Windex with that leaping ability, but he leapt at the right time.
Yeah, you could slip 2 or 3 credit cards under there, no problem. Here's Teoscar Hernandez now. He launched a 2-strike home run, a towering fly ball homer to left field to tie this game in the second.
Teoscar just has that kind of swing and follow through that he gets that backspin on the ball and just goes forever. As strong as any hitter in the game.
One thing, look, his defense isn't elite in right field. Saw last night with the base running at certain times, but he continuously gets huge hits for the Dodgers time and time again. The old saying, as long as you drive in, Ronnie, more than you let in, you'll keep playing.
When you ask what position he plays hitter. And he can certainly do that. He bet on himself last year. He took a 1-year deal. This is where the prowess of the Dodger financial position is. They paid him $23 million last year just to put him in that 1-year contract, and then they signed him to a 3-year deal after his terrific season. He was excellent in the postseason. Last 2 years as a Dodger, got an OPS around 850. He's got 7 homers and 22 RBIs in his last 2 postseasons as a Dodger.
It's the best fastball velocity-wise that Peralta has had in this game. Non-competitive pitch, though.
Last time that 3-2 slider that he hit out, now 3-2 again. See what he throws him.
3-2 on the ground on a hop. Nice easy hop for Durbin. Fires across in time for the out.
Same pitch, Ronnie.
This one, though, he kept down and away just enough.
Made him go out. Didn't let him get extended on it.
One of the hardest things to do in the postseason. Talking about a pitcher who now is nearing 200 innings for the season, if you include the postseason. So that 96 and 97 that he's had all year long, when you get extra days rest, that might not be part of his arsenal right now. But he's not a breaking ball pitcher. He's got good breaking balls, but it comes off him being precise with that fastball. He's still got to throw it.
His nickname, Fastball Freddy. And he's lived up to that reputation pretty much until this year. That ball's drilled into the gap right center. Tommy Edman, that's going to bounce out for the auto double. And Tommy Edman into second base with a 2-out double here. Extends this inning. Lined out his last time up, hit one sharply to right, and now he barrels one that finds the gap.
Every time he's up, I always think he just looks hitterish. Looks ready to deliver a line drive somewhere. Such a simple approach. both sides of the plate when he's hitting lefty and righty.
Brings up Kike Hernandez. Dodgers lead 2-1. We're in the 4th inning of game 2. Peralta's given up 4 hits.
Remember in the 2nd inning, the Dodgers pushed across a 2-out run.
Well, having followed the Dodgers through this postseason run, it is so impressive how they have taken these hostile crowds out on the road. Did it at Citizens Bank Park, one of the more raucous crowds in all of baseball. Dodgers won both games there. And they won last night. Blake Snell, every time the Brewers fans even had a chance to get loud, he put the blanket on it.
When they got that double play on a ball that never touched the ground, the next inning he came out and had a three-minute inning
with a couple of strikeouts.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, one way to get the crowd out of it is a lead starting pitching, man. We saw the Braves in the early 90s, the Yankees late 90s, that Phillies run that you talked about with Roy Halladay and them.
Cliff Lee.
Yeah, Cole Hamels, they can silence you quick.
Snell career high in strikeouts in a postseason game. Said it was the best game he's ever pitched. And it looked that way. 2-2 the count on Kike Hernandez. Edman at second, and a swing and a miss. Big, slow curveball from Freddie Peralta. Inning is over. Brewers coming to bat. We go to the bottom of the 4th. 2-1, Dodgers. Acura Game Break presented by the 2025 Acura ADX. Blue Jays Mariners are back at it tomorrow. National League is a travel day, so the Brewers and Dodgers both headed to Los Angeles tonight. We will resume Thursday at 5:30 Eastern on TBS and streaming on HBO Max. Mariners up 2-0 in their series. Going back home, you know it's going to be rocking there at T-Mobile Park. Christian Yelich leads off for the Brew Crew. And Yamamoto, after giving up a leadoff home run to Jackson Chourio on the first pitch. Has settled in nicely, worked around an error in the second inning. Brewers have just the 2 hits. Yamamoto with a couple of strikeouts and a lot of balls on the ground thus far. Yamamoto was already a star when he came to Major League Baseball. 3 times he was the MVP of his league in Japan. He won the pitching triple crown 3 times as well. As he strikes out, Christian Yelich led that league in wins, ERA, and strikeouts on 3 occasions. Signed a 12-year contract with the Los Angeles Dodgers, and that is a mean splitter that he breaks out.
He just spreads those fingers on each side of the seam and just throws it as hard as he can.
And that was the pitch during the Phillies that was lacking. That split. He was not able to land it. They took it for balls. They were able to get the fastball out over the zone, and big reason why he didn't last long.
Andrew Vaughn gets jammed a bit. Fly ball to center. Pages puts it away. 2 up and 2 down. We kick it down to Lauren.
And Brian, 38 pitches for Yamamoto, 71 for Peralta, and all the Brewers have talked about is getting LA starters' pitch count up. We want them to have to think about what bullpen moves they need to make, but just at the same time, a little aggression can put their starter on their heels and not allow them in a rhythm, so we're trying to balance it. Are they?
It's tough at times, right? Like, and that's the thing when you're landing that first pitch. But again, I go back to that Terang at bat where he got the ball over Muncy's head. First pitch split away for a ball. Then he dropped the curve in there for a strike, but he finally got one in the plate. And, you know, you get behind again, you take these bigger swings. We talked about this yesterday. We haven't seen a bunt attempt yet now. We're going in, 13 innings? Just something different.
Brewers led the National League in infield hits. A lot of those coming on bunts. But Yamamoto doesn't give up many hits, and he has 6 pitches in the toolbox. He led the majors in hits per 9 innings, just 5.9 hits per 9 innings. So the idea that you want to get deep in counts, he's not giving up many hits. It's tough to string together multiple hits in an inning. He's certainly not giving up a lot of home runs with that great splitter.
Yeah, he's got a legion of lethal weapons, and if he's landing most of them, you're in trouble. He very rarely throws the same pitch twice.
Frelick goes the other way and a base hit. That's back-to-back innings that the Jeff Francoeur approach has paid off. Terang in the 3rd, and now Frelick goes to the opposite field here in the 4th.
Listen, he could talk about that approach. That was not his approach.
Oh, yeah, no, but I can say you got to do it now.
And the perfect person to do it, of course, is Sal Frelick. Nice sitting there going the other way.
Again, you get speed on the bases now, right? Now you bring, you know, that into play, the stolen base.
I don't know, 12 stolen base attempts, only 7 successful. So Yamamoto's pretty good. But you're talking about a catcher who has an injury, trying to play through an injury. I think you got to take the shot to be aggressive.
Yeah.
No balls and a strike on Caleb Durbin. And it's quickly 0-2.
You know, I was lucky enough to watch the division series, and they played a team that they're very used to playing, the Cubs. So they played their approach that entire series. They've been taken out of that a little here against the Dodgers, but their pitching has been excellent. That could be one of the big reasons.
0-2, 2 outs on Durbin with Sal Frelick at first base. And he got him. Back to the splitter he goes. And he strikes out Caleb Durbin. Inning is over. Strands a runner at first. 2-1. Dodgers. Yamamoto is dealing.
And that's something Jamie Chadwell mentioned. We need him to step up his play and be a little bit more accurate. So far, outside of that pick he threw, 6 of 8. It is fielded by Julian Gray. He's trying to go the opposite side of the field. Has a hole. Julian Gray out and running. Gets a block. Julian Gray on the sideline trying to outrun the defense. Oh!
Trident.
Sem filas de espera.
We go to the fifth. Dodgers in front 2-1. Brandon Woodruff, an injured star, but an impactful player down in that dugout between innings. Lauren caught up with him.
Brandon, that's your guy out there. You grew up here together, and you said he's the key to the whole darn thing. Why?
Man, he's a pro's pro. He prepares, he gets ready. He's been in these spots a few times now, and really has taken over as the leader of this staff here the last couple of years, and it's been fun to watch and watch him progress. And he's doing a good job tonight. He's keeping us in it. He's keeping guys off balance, and he's keeping us right where we need to be.
And he's praised you for how you've taken care of your body, trying to get right. How are you, Brandon?
I'm doing good. I'm progressing daily. I'm trying to give myself the best chance if hopefully we do move on to the next round of the World Series. And yeah, that's my focus. Come in each day and try to progress.
The game is better with you in it. Thanks so much for the time.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And thanks to Brandon Woodruff. Thank you, Lauren. Andy Pages hit by the first pitch from Peralta right on the hand. Going to stay in the game. That one had the sound. That one smarted right on the knuckles. And it'll be a lead base runner. And Pages, who doubled in a run his last time up, putting the Dodgers in front, is aboard to start it in front of Shohei Ohtani.
All out.
Brandon Woodruff is part of Brewers Dodgers lore. Last time these two teams met in an NLCS, as you see Aaron Ashby loosening in the bullpen. That was back when pitchers used to hit for themselves. Brandon Woodruff homered off Clayton Kershaw in one of the signature moments in this ballpark. Too bad Woodruff unable to participate. He's got a lat injury. Shoulder is intact, the one that was surgically repaired.
Seems longer than 7 years ago, doesn't it? Since the pitcher wasn't hitting.
Here's a pitcher that can hit. Ohtani, the designated hitter tonight. Peralta pours one in on his hands. Woodruff, while not active, very involved in the game planning and the psychology down in that dugout. 1-2 the count. And a swing and a miss. Ohtani started it early. Chased one out of the zone. Peralta strikes him out with a high fastball, and it's out number one.
The key to that pitch, Ronnie, was the 1-1 pitch. He uncorked the 94 in. I know it's uncomfortable to have to go there. You got him thinking in again, and then you went up top right here and was able to beat him to the spot.
Got him out of the zone again.
His struggles continue. Ohtani won for his last 23 now. After he popped 2 homers in the first game of this postseason in the wild card series against Cincinnati. Not much sense. One away for Betts.
Oh, it's funny sometimes though. He comes up and I'm like, is he really struggling though? You know? I know what the numbers say.
He's one of those players you expect to break out every time he comes
No
to the
question,
plate, right?
It's like Stephen Curry. He could go 1 for 10 from beyond the
He's
arc.
making the next
But
one.
everybody's guarding him still. He's still opening up the floor. And Pat Murphy, he was asked about intentionally walking Ohtani to load the bases, and it ended up backfiring on the Brewers. They gave up a run. He goes, that's a no-brainer. I'm doing that every time, and every manager is doing that. 2 balls and a strike on Betts. Pop up, foul grounds. Going to be in the seats here.
The difference with that is he needed 2 outs. He needed a double play.
Yes.
So that was his best chance. Uribe with a good hard sinker. against Mookie Betts.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
And it's the reason we've seen 3 intentional walks on Ohtani in the 2 previous games. But again, you just can't let him get the big 3-run homer and totally let the game get out of reach.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Betts. Pa has the runner at first. Good speed over there. Skips in. Contreras able to corral it. 3-2 is the count. Brewers are in a position now, it would appear, as we saw Ashby warming up, just trying to get their ace through 5 innings here. This is where they did not want to be, having to cover innings from their bullpen once again. Dangerous part of the lineup has arrived here in the 5th. Betts chops one off his foot, and a foul ball keeps it at 3-2.
I mean, Ashby's been up a while. Do you think if Peralta doesn't get through Betts and Betts is on base, then he comes in to face Freeman?
It feels like that's who he is preparing for, but we'll see. Another 3-2. Betts on the ground. Durbin to second. Terang the turn and a double play. That is a big one for Freddie Peralta. Might be the end, but he gives Milwaukee 5. Brewers go around the horn. A 5-4-3 double play. They're coming to bat. Dodgers lead it 2-1.
And that's something Jamie Chadwell mentioned. We need him to step up his play and be a little bit more accurate. So far, outside of that picky through, 6 of 8. It is fielded by Julian Gray. He's trying to go the opposite side of the field. Has a hole. Julian Gray out and running. Gets a block.
You can watch MLB legends and stars tee off in the inaugural Capital One MLB Open at Shadow Creek in Vegas. November 18th, 9:30 Eastern is the time. TNT and streaming on HBO Max. Go to MLB.com/golf for more details. American Family Field, home of the Brewers. 2-1 Dodgers lead it, the defending champions. And Yamamoto giving up a first inning homer, first pitch homer to Jackson Chourio, has settled in. He has been excellent. Brewers have just 3 hits. outside of the home run. The other 2 are singles. 4 strikeouts thus far for Yamamoto. Jake Bauers, Joey Ortiz, Jackson Chourio due up in the Milwaukee 5th inning. All eyes on the Brewers bullpen and the dugout. Curious to see if Freddie Peralta comes back out for a 6th, inducing a double play off the bat of Mookie Betts. 1-2, and Bauers takes a ball.
Ashby's hot, but I just, you know what, you got to believe that with the amount the bullpen had to cover last night, how many guys, maybe he thinks he's got to get one more inning out of him.
2-2, and Bauers late on it, fouls it away.
You see the game plan of Yamamoto against Bauers. Everything has been up in the zone. High cutters, 97-mile-an-hour fastball.
Collection of aces for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Snell last night, Yamamoto tonight. 2-2, and that one is low. Brewers still do not have a plate appearance with a runner in scoring position against the 2 Dodger starters, Snell and Yamamoto.
They didn't have a lot of plate appearances last night for the runners in scoring position.
Count is full. Lead batter in the 5th. Bauers, a high fly ball, right field, back on it, Hernandez. He's got it. Just missed it on the bat, and Bauers with a long, loud out. We remind you the 2025 MLB postseason is brought to you by T-Mobile, now the best network in America. By DraftKings Sportsbook, your home for live betting. And by Progressive Insurance, 24/7 protection when you bundle home, auto, and motorcycle. Learn more at progressive.com. Yamamoto facing Joey Ortiz here with one away in the 5th. Ortiz grounded back to the mound his last time up. And Will Smith wants to go to the mound, and he
wants a translator, though.
Calling for Yamamoto's translator and the pitching coach.
Well, guys, Brewers offensively, what they want to do, right, is get to that bullpen. They feel like they can expose it. Look at this right here. During the postseason, what the Dodgers starting pitching has done compared to the bullpen. But again, Snell, 8 innings last night. Yamamoto now 56 pitches here in the 5th. They're just not able to get there right now, Ronnie.
They're doing the exact thing they're supposed to do against these Brewers. They're being very aggressive, early strikes, going right after him.
Will Ireton is the translator. It's not a medical timeout, no athletic trainer. This is an official visit to the mound, and wanting to get a little strategy. Interesting time to do it, though, with the number 9 hitter.
Well, Yamamoto's calling his own game. He's threw 2 breaking balls to Ortiz, the 9th place hitter. I'll tell you what Smith went out there to say. Let's go after this guy with 97.
Well, and knowing who you have on deck, right? You
100%.
just went 3-2. Bauers just missed one. It's, hey, let's get this out. Roturio's got nobody on base.
Will Smith, one of the great catchers in the game on both sides of the ball. 2-0 the count on Joey Ortiz, and there is a fastball. I think you're on it, Ronnie. Right. Came right back with a fastball.
There was a time where catchers would throw a BB at you about 95 miles an hour. That would get your attention. But now the meaning.
3-0. 3-1 the count. Now, I thought that was universal to go out there and say more fastballs, but Will Smith wanted to make sure that there was nothing lost in translation.
He wanted the right emphasis on the right word.
Smith has had to change his game a little bit as a catcher, as all great catchers do with individual pitchers. Hitters count for Joey Ortiz. Little hesitation. And that's a ball. And it's ball 4 of Noto to the number 9 hitter and a very fast runner. And now the Brewers get back to the top of the order.
Heating up a postseason snack? Just tell Siri, set a timer for 10 minutes.
Jackson Churio stands in now with 1 away. Churio hit his second homer of this postseason. In the first inning, first pitch he saw, Yamamoto starts him with a curve. Dodgers lead 2-1. Bottom of the 5th, runner at first, tying run at first. And that ball's whistled into left field. Kike Hernandez right there to make the play. Churio hit it like a bullet. But out number 2. 111 off the bat for Churio. Right into the glove of Kike Hernandez.
What's a hang with him after over 105?
I think you're right. Yamamoto with 2 outs. Here's Bryce Terang now. Yamamoto, a splitter to start Terang. Had a hunch he'd be in ambush mode. Terang with a nice piece of hitting his last time up. Slapped one to left. That came with 2 outs.
Two splitters in a row. The Dodgers scored on a base hit from Pages that went down the right field line because right fielder was playing so far off the line. Same situation here with the Dodgers defense against Terang.
1-2 on Terang. Yamamoto has made his pitches. He finished second in the National League in ERA this year, 2.49 ERA. Right off mass cam. Thanks to Gabe Morales for giving us those looks in his second championship series. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ortiz takes off. And the pitch is a called strike 3. No throw needed. Yamamoto drops a big curve on Bryce Terang. The inning is over. And it's still 2-1 Dodgers after 5. You're watching the 2025 NLCS. It's presented by Loan Depot.
And that's something Jamie Chadwell mentioned. We need him to step up his play and be a little bit more accurate so far.
Game summary presented by Amazon. As we go to the 6th inning, 5 in the books here in Game 2 of this National League Championship Series. Brewers jumped out early with a Shohei homer. First batter face for Yamamoto. Teoscar Hernandez homered in the 2nd inning. And then Pages drove in a run with 2 outs. It's Freddie Freeman on the first pitch. A roof scraper that Shohei squeezes. That's what they call a big league pop-up. And out number 1, we send it down to Lauren.
And Brian, I'm over here by the Brewers dugout. Freddie Peralta went down in the tunnel after that last half inning with Pat Murphy. Then Murphy returned, and the guys told me he pleaded his case to Murphy. Said, "Look, I have one more inning in me. This is why I'm here." And Pat listened.
Wow, don't you love to hear that?
This is your guy, right? Like, you call it a fastball, Freddie. You're 10-1 at home this year with what, a 1.85, including the NLDS here. Like,
you know, those phrases like bull your neck, all of those things. That's what he's got to do here. And they got the closer, Uribe, up if they have to rescue him from this inning, because this inning is huge.
2-1 Dodgers lead it. Will Smith takes a strike.
It felt like the bullpen for the Brewers. It's tough to ask them to go back out tonight and cover 5 innings, or, you know, you needed Peralta, I feel like, to go 6.
Yeah.
We talked about it before the broadcast.
He's given up 4 hits. Peralta got that key double play. He was on the ropes last inning.
Yeah.
The Dodgers were probably a batter away. If Mookie Betts reaches, pretty good chance Ashby's coming on to face Freeman. Instead, Betts bounced into a double play to win the inning. And you don't want to be too dramatic about it, but you don't know where the series is going. It's a best of 7, but this is one of the key moments in this series right now for both teams.
This is Game 7 for the Brewers, in my opinion, because you're going to play 3 games in Los Angeles starting Thursday. I don't think you can go back 0-2 to Los Angeles. You have to have this game, so you play it like a Game 7. Why not?
Well, you do go back 0-2. The margin for error is tiny when you get out there.
And it's evidenced by Pat Murphy having his closer up in the bullpen, ready to enter this game in the 6th inning, and Abner Uribe. And it's not just what happened yesterday. The Brewers did use a lot of relievers. Priester did go 4 innings as the bulk pitcher, but you go back to Saturday, too, and the grinder of a series with the Cubs, and that was a bullpen game for Milwaukee. 2-2, and Smith gets jammed. That's a fair ball. Durbin winds it up, fires a strike across the diamond, and 2 men are out here in the 6th inning.
Well, I love how Durbin played that. He had to go all the way to the line, but he gathered himself, stood tall, and right straight over the top. A strike to first.
And Freddie kind of pulling out a little bag of tricks there. Kind of quick pitch Will Smith a little bit on that one. He's emptying everything. He told, well, Pat Murphy, as Lauren said, I want 1 more inning. Well, he's 1 out away from giving it to him.
Great info from Lauren.
2 outs. Max Muncy now lined out his last time up. And a topspin liner to first. And a foul pop in the 2nd inning.
Sometimes you work so hard to get through Ohtani and Betts and Freeman and Smith and lurking and always seemingly getting the big hit is Max Muncy.
Yeah, and then you turn and look on deck and you're like, crap, Teoscar Hernandez is sitting there.
It is a relentless lineup. Hernandez homered earlier tonight. Muncy jumps out of the way. 3 balls, no strikes.
It's an interesting choice for Peralta here because Muncy swinging 3-0.
See if he's got the green light. 3 balls, no strikes. And right through the heart. Actually hit the outside corner. It's a strike. Actually, a good pitch by Peralta.
Don't change a thing. Throw that same one.
Yeah. Not a lot of damage can be done out there. Muncy fouls it out of play, and now it's 3-2. Peralta comes back with the fastball.
2 heaters kind of painted away to get him back in here. 3-2. You go back running away, or do you try to drop that changeup?
I think he's going to throw a change here. But if it's his last pitch of the game, probably, Let it fire.
Let it eat.
Let it eat. Let it go.
Full count, 2 outs. Peralta deals. Slider from Peralta, and Muncy out in front of it. Muncy in his postseason career that is now at 70 games, 13 playoff home runs, 34 driven in. And a big performer when it counts the most. Another 3-2. Muncy into center field. Frelick turns and runs. That ball's deep. Frelick jumps, and it is up and out of here. Max Muncy. A home run to center field with 2 outs and 2 strikes. And it's 3-1 Dodgers. His first homer and first RBI of this postseason.
What do we say about Muncy always getting the big hit?
He does. 110 off the bat, 412 center. He hunts fastballs.
It was center cut fastball there.
And Pat Murphy will take the ball from his all-star as Max Muncy delivers a big blow in this game. Frelick gave it a look. Pulled one back yesterday, not this time. Muncy makes it 3-1. Pitching change at American Family Field.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
The team that led the National League in home runs this year, the Los Angeles Dodgers. They've used the long ball. Freddie Freeman yesterday, Teoscar Hernandez, and Max Muncy in Game 2. And it's 3-1 Dodgers. As we play with 2 outs in the 6th, it is Abner Uribe, who has been the acting Brewers closer. He enters this game. Might see him for just 1 batter. Ronnie, what do you think?
Yeah, I think so. Saturday, 2 innings and 21 pitches. He threw yesterday through 22 pitches, 43 pitches in the last 3 days.
1 out, I should say. You got to face 3 batters minimum. That one hits the leg of Uribe. He slides, makes the play, but it's low, and the throw goes into the camera well. It's a dead ball. Hernandez is going to get second base. So once the ball goes into the photographer's well, it is immediately dead. And Teoscar Hernandez awarded second base. So Uribe hit by that comebacker. Would have been a great play. Probably should go as an infield hit and then an error to get him to second base. And that's how it'll be scored.
I think it almost hit Lauren over there. Lauren almost got hit with an Uribe sinker. pretty athletic play, though. He got to that quick.
He did.
Runner at second. 2 men out. Here is Tommy Edman now. Dodgers with some insurance here in this 6th inning with 2 outs as Edman takes a strike.
You feel like you're in a spot that the Brewers can't give up anymore.
Yamamoto is dealing on the mound. He's only given up the 3 hits. The home run to Churio, the first batter he faced. He's locked him down since. Edman's going to take his time out. Peralta 5 2/3. 5 hits, 3 runs. And Max Muncy 2 out, 2 strike homer.
Pretty good slider there. Jackson warming up in the pen. Trying to get Rita to put this fire out, keep it at a 3-1 game, and give your offense an opportunity.
0-2 the count to Tommy Edman. And a strikeout to end the inning. But Max Muncy delivers with 2 outs. He's got his first home run of this postseason. Uribe with a strikeout to end the inning. Dodgers up 3-1 to the bottom of the 6th we go in Milwaukee.
And that's something Jamie Chadwell mentioned. We need him to step up his play and be a little bit more accurate. So far, outside of that pick he threw, 6 of 8. It is fielded by Julian Gray. He's trying to go the opposite side of the field. Has a hole. Julian Gray out and running. Gets a block.
The 2025 MLB postseason is brought to you by Genesis Motor America. Learn more at genesis.com. And by Frigid Air, introducing a new line of ovens featuring stone-baked pizza mode only from Frigid Air. First ball swinging Contreras over to Max Muncy, and there's out number 1. Yamamoto back on the mound. Max Muncy, his 14th home run in the postseason for the Dodgers. That is the most in team history. And it was a bit of a silencer in the 6th inning. Gives the Dodgers a 3-1 lead.
Dodgers and Muncy have a knack for doing just what we just saw.
1 out for Christian Yelich.
I mean, think of it this way. It'd be so inspirational. Peralta asked his manager to go back out there. If he gets through 6, maybe he gets his team going. Muncy, home run. I don't think so.
Dodgers have just, and they did it last year, obviously on their way to a World Series title, but we saw it against the Phillies, certainly did it against the Reds. They have a knack to put the blanket on any kind of moment for the opposition. That's why I thought yesterday Blake Snell's bottom of the fourth might have been one of the sneaky key innings after that crazy double play and the Dodgers unable to score on that wild 8-6-2 double play. Crowds going crazy. Snell came out and went right through the Brewers. Top of the order with a couple of strikeouts.
We couldn't even talk about the play because Snell went just bam, bam, bam.
You know, we got a shot of Dave Roberts sitting on the bench. You know when your starters are good? When the manager is sitting on the bench, not standing up.
He's not on that top rail, is he? Not much to manage right now as Yelich beats one into the ground. And there is out number 2, a couple of ground outs to start this 6th inning. Your team, your players, your postseason. You can follow all the postseason action. Download the MLB app, the #1 app for live baseball. 2 men are out for Andrew Vaughn, who has a memory against Yoshi Yamamoto. His first at-bat as a Milwaukee Brewer. He homered off Yamamoto back in July. Yamamoto did not get out of the first in that game. That was on July 7th. Vaughn hit a 3-run home run. Talk about making an introduction to your new teammates.
I was gonna say, you want to let your teammates, and not only that, but the fans love you a little bit.
How to win friends and influence people.
And he never stopped hitting, Andrew Vaughn, and has earned an everyday role. Much different story tonight in Game 2 of this NLCS. He's an out away from putting 6 innings in the book. Pitch count is low. This is his 74th pitch. And Vaughn a swing and a miss.
Boy, he's got good carry on that fastball down in the zone.
He's getting on the hitters quick. You saw Yelich on the second pitch, just right by him.
2 outs. The 1-2 to Vaughn. Fouls it back. Another 1-2. And Vaughn right to Muncy. Soft liner in a 1-2-3 inning. Yoshi Yamamoto dialed in, efficient, and he's got the Dodgers in front 3-1 in Game 2.
And that's something Jamie Chadwell mentioned. We need
latest betting odds from DraftKings Sportsbook. You can download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Place your bets live today. Sign up with promo code HEAT. The reigning champs, the Los Angeles Dodgers, trying to go back-to-back. Be the first time in baseball in 25 years if they do it. They won last night 2-1. They lead 3-1 here in Game 2. And Kike Hernandez leads off. It is Abner Uribe back on the mound. So Pat Murphy kind of laid it out that they wanted to minimize the workload of Uribe. That all changes in the middle of a championship series, and he's back out for a second inning here.
Well, they asked a little more. Peralta now asking a little more from Uribe. Probably in here to face these two hitters, the 8th and 9th place hitter.
Hernandez and Andy Pages. Dodgers with 3 runs on 6 hits. And a knee buckler from Uribe. And the count is a ball and 2 strikes.
That was nasty right there.
He's got a beautiful live arm.
Oh, that thing. Kike thought this was a sinker coming in right at him. Watch this.
Well, after they lost Trevor McGill, he was 6 for 6 in save opportunities down the stretch.
1 ball, 2 strikes to count. And Hernandez in the air, left center field. That's deep into left center, and that's going to be down. Ball is in the air a long time. Kike Hernandez into second base with a double. Frelick was over into right center. And that ball falls on the warning track for a leadoff double here in the 7th.
Off the bat, that looked like it was going to be a fly ball that was caught. Remember, Bowers is in left field. He has less speed than some of your outfielders, and Frelick could never get back over there.
Well, the problem, too, is Frelick was playing good side to the right field side and just kind of split that gap, and he said no one close to it.
Perfectly placed.
Hernandez with 2 more hits tonight. Pages shows bunt. Takes a strike. Pages says, "You sure?" He had a big hit back in the 2nd at an RBI double. Dodgers hunting a put-away punch here in this 7th inning. They lead 3-1. And he gets the bunt down. Vaughn will go to first. A sacrifice for Andy Pages. To third goes Kike Hernandez with Ohtani coming up. MLB Together is baseball's platform embodying the sport's commitment to philanthropic causes and mental wellness efforts by teams, players, and the league. To learn more, visit MLBtogether.com. Pat Murphy on his way out.
Bitter irony. It's the Dodgers with the sac bunt.
And they get a runner 90 feet away with the top of the order coming up. League travel day tomorrow. American League back at it. Blue Jays, Mariners from Seattle. Mariners go on the road and win the first 2 games in Toronto. Wheels in motion now for Pat Murphy. And Aaron Ashby on with 1 out and a runner at third. And Shohei Ohtani coming up running.
Well, Ashby's really been the workhorse of this bullpen. Made a start yesterday, walked Ohtani to lead off the game, but then struck out Freeman. He needs a pop-up or a strikeout here.
Well, and something that is a little unsettling as an infielder, infield in.
With Ohtani at the plate, you got to be ready to field one quickly here. Ohtani with a runner at third. First pitch from Ashby is down. Ohtani is 0 for 3, couple of strikeouts. Dodgers have this crowd at American Family Field quiet and anxious. Normally you don't think much of a 3-1 deficit at this part of the game, but the way the Dodgers are pitching, and specifically tonight, the efficiency of Yamamoto, that is a huge run for the Dodgers. 2-0. 2-1.
You watch Sanchez and some of the lefties that have the fastball that Ashby does. If he can let this on the inner half and let it run in, you can get the possible rollover here.
2-1 to count. Ashby sticks a fastball at the bottom of the zone, 98 miles an hour, and it's 2-2 on Ohtani.
Ashby has great sink on his fastball. Can he elevate that fastball? Ohtani struck out last at bat.
2-2. Ohtani swinging a foul. It was an awkward swing, but he just got a piece of it. Tobias Myers in the Milwaukee bullpen just added to this NLCS roster. The Brewers lost one of their better relievers in Nick Mears to this championship series, preferring to go with a pitcher who can give him length. 2-2 the count. Ashby deals. Ohtani pops it up. Over is Durbin, and that'll be on top of the dugout, and the count stays at 2-2. Ashby's best fastball yet at 99.
Not a lot of foul territory here. I would say it's the time for the hammer, isn't it?
I was going to say, you got him in swing mode now. If you can throw a good one starting down the middle and go towards the thing, you get a swing and miss.
2-2. Ohtani on the ground, through for a base hit. It's an RBI single for Shohei Ohtani, and the Dodgers add to their lead. 4-1 Los Angeles. Ohtani collects his first RBI of this championship series.
And he missed kind of middle right there. The one spot where Ohtani could hit it with some pace right there.
TBS Total Motion presented by Progressive. Ohtani now with 6 RBIs in the postseason. Had 1 against the Phillies.
Hernandez has his hand in this entire game. A couple of hits, couple of runs scored.
It was his double with 2 strikes to start the inning. That started the rally for Los Angeles here. Betts down the right field line, slicing foul.
You know, Ronnie, after seeing that 0-1 changeup to Betts right there, thinking back to the Ohtani at bat, that might not have been a horrible pitch, lefty on lefty.
You know, it's you go in trying to execute a pitch, and sometimes you miss, and just can't afford to miss here against this tough ball club. They're relentless.
0-2 the count on Betts. This Dodger team did not perform to their expectations in the regular season. They all tell you that. They dealt with a lot of injuries. At one point, they had over $100 million in payroll on the injured list. As Betts lines one to right, and there is out number 2. But the idea all along was to build toward the end of the season and into the postseason. And they are at their strongest right now, even though they have some question marks in their bullpen. They are in peak performance and roster right now coming into the postseason. They went 21-6 across their last 27 games. They finished as the number 3 division winner, which put them in the wild card series. Dodgers are 6-1 this postseason. The only loss was at home to the Phillies in Game 3.
Oh, think of the choices that the Dodgers have. For Game 3, they can decide on whether Ohtani or Glasnow pitches.
Yeah.
That's quite a decision.
And if you don't love your bullpen, have your starter go 8.
That's right. That's what Snell did last night. All but one of the starts, Dodger starting pitchers in this postseason have gone at least 6. Only happened twice the entire run through the postseason a year ago. 0-2 the count. And Freeman takes a ball. Freeman 0 for 3 tonight after 2 hits last night, including a home run. And put the Dodgers in front.
Dave Roberts said before the first game, we need to get a lead, we need to get ahead. That mitigates some of that Brewers baseball.
1-2, runner goes. Pitches a ball. Contreras couldn't secure it. That'll be a stolen base for Shohei Ohtani. He can do that too, by the way. Was a 50-50 player. 50 homers, 50 steals last year when he was a DH only. Can fly.
Had a huge lead.
And you know, I always like that with 2 strikes and a good hitter up like Freddie Freeman and 2 outs. Worst case, he leads off the next inning after you get thrown out. Now base hit, you get another run.
T-Mobile base cam. A swing out of miss. Ashby strikes out Freddie Freeman to end the inning, but the Dodgers get an add-on run in the 6th and an add-on run in the 7th. Shohei Ohtani, his first hit and RBI of this championship series.
And that's something Jamie Chadwell mentioned. We need him to step up his play and be a little bit more accurate so far. Outside of that pick he threw, 6 of 8. It is fielded by Julian Gray. He's trying to go the opposite side of the field. Has a hole. Julian Gray out and running. Gets a block. Julian Gray on the...
seventh in Game 2. We bring you inside the booth, presented by AT&T. Brian Anderson with Jeff Francoeur and Ron Darling. The path back for the Brewers. They've been a great comeback team in the regular season. Yamamoto is still on the mound, and he has been efficient. How do the Brewers get back in this one, Frenchie?
15 innings, 5 hits, and 2 runs right now. Early runners on. 2 of their 3 today have been the 2-out hits. Getting some early traffic, and you talk about stressful pitches, right? Stressful innings, and right now for Yamamoto really hasn't had that because of it.
You know, starting this inning, he had 75 pitches. That means after the first pitch home run to Churio, he got 18 outs on 74 pitches. That's about as good as it gets. So the best way maybe to combat what the Brewers do is to just be overly aggressive with strikes.
1-2 to Sal Frelick. Count evens at 2-2. Dodgers lead it 4-1 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. And they look like the powerhouse that we saw run through the postseason last year. Frelick on the ground, hits the mound. Betts with great footwork right there. Makes the play for out number 1. Amazing Mookie Betts has turned himself into this kind of shortstop. 1 away in the 7th. We send it down to Lauren.
And Brian, I've been watching Will Smith's glove when he sets up for Yamamoto tonight. Notice how long his glove lingers in the zone, not set up, but hovering around the strike zone. Dave Roberts said it's by design. Yoshinobu, so precise. He needs to see the target, needs to visualize for a longer period of time. So structured, so clear on what he needs to be great.
You know, Lauren, in the game today, because of the framing of the pitches, most catchers like to start with the glove on the ground so they can work from south to north and pop that ball into the strike zone. But some pitchers just need the visual to be able to see that. I pitched to the great Gary Carter, Hall of Famer. He sat so high on his haunches, when he put his glove up, it was right down the middle of the plate. So I would have to pick his shin guards, and that was the only way to keep the ball down.
Caleb Urban grounds out. 2 up, 2 down, 2 ground ball outs. Yamamoto has retired 7 straight now after the walk in the 5th. Brewers have not had a hit since the 4th. Other than the Churio homer, it's been 2 singles, and those singles came with 2 outs. It's not as low stress as Blake Snell yesterday, but it is close. Making his 3rd start of the postseason. Yamamoto did not pitch well against the Phillies. That was the only game the Phillies won in that series. Yamamoto took the loss. Tobias Myers looks like he is preparing for the 8th.
Really very familiar to Game 1 of the ALCS when George Springer in Toronto hit the first pitch out. If you remember that.
That's right.
And 99 pitches later, 3-1 win for the Mariners.
That's a good call. 2 balls, no strikes. Think about it, if the Dodgers hang on to win this game, the road team will have won the first 4 games in the championship series in either league. Tough to do.
You know, last night, one of the things overlooked, Snell got 11 ground ball outs. Yamamoto's got 10 tonight.
And again, right, just to show you what kind of groove he's in. 2-0 count. You paint 96 away on the black. You flip a curveball on the black.
It's like the last pitch Snell threw last night, a 3-2 breaking ball. Perfect to Frelick at his last pitch. Just on time. That's why they have the adage, good pitching beats good hitting.
Always. Cliche because it's true. Bowers roll over ground ball. Tommy Edman scoops it, makes the play, and Yamamoto carries on. Puts up another 0. He's retired 8 straight. And we go to the 8th with the Dodgers up 4-1 in Game 2. Eligible Capital One Rewards card holders, you can redeem your rewards for tickets to the MLB postseason on Capital One Entertainment. Visit CapitalOne.com/entertainment for more information. American Family Field, the home of the Brewers. And the Dodgers have come in here and imposed their will in the first two games of this series. Will Smith leads off. Little flare is going to fall in right field and a base hit. New pitcher for Milwaukee is Tobias Myers.
Tobias Myers was the pitcher of the year for the Brewers last year. 25 starts this year. Started with a left oblique strain. Was up and down 5 different times. They were hoping that he would learn the split change. That would be a good addition to his repertoire.
Myers added to the championship series roster to give him a pitcher who can go multiple innings. He has been a starter. That's why they chose Myers over Mears, who is a short-term reliever. Brewers going with 12 pitchers. One with the extra position player. Same roster dynamic as the Dodgers, but the Dodgers have Ohtani, who is listed as a position player. Muncy 0-2. Myers really struggled against left-handed hitters this season and really throughout his big league career. Developed a split change, as you mentioned, Ronnie, and that's changed his numbers against lefties. One-two pitch. Muncy able to lay off. Muncy with a key home run. 2 outs, 2 strikes, nobody on. Freddie Peralta a strike away from a big ovation and a chance to get through 6 innings in a 2-1 game. Muncy took him deep to center field. Hit it where Frelick couldn't reach it.
Well, Frelick was measuring it up to jump and try to rob it, but he hit his back on the fence as he was going up, so it just stunted his jump.
3-2 the count, and Muncy draws the walk, and the Dodgers with 2 on, nobody out here in the 8th inning.
With so many choices across the U.S., find Boston hotels even Yankees fans could love.
That's the old postseason thing, right? You get Muncy 0-2 and then come back and throw 4 balls and can't get him to chase.
Brings up Teoscar Hernandez. Home run in the second for Hernandez as he fouls that one away. That was on a 2-strike pitch as well.
Teoscar's home run was to left field, but he has power to right center and right field as well. Foul pole to foul pole.
He'll turn. Neither manager has announced their Game 3 starters just yet. Dave Roberts did tell us it will either be Ohtani or Glasnow, depending on where they are in the series. So I guess we'll find out who he prefers in what scenario come Game 3 in Los Angeles. And the Brewers are in a position using their 2 healthy starters in Quinn Priester as a bulk pitcher yesterday and Freddie Peralta as a starter today. Went 5 2/3. They're going to be back in a bullpen game scenario. They do have Jose Quintana, who's been a starter, could be an option. But the options are limited right now for Pat Murphy in Milwaukee.
You know, it makes me feel, after how the game's going so far here, that you might take a chance with the left-handed Quintana starting the game. He's a pro's pro. He's been in every single situation you can be in. Sometimes you need to trust those guys who have all the experience.
0-2 the count on Hernandez. 2 strikes. There's Quintana. He was excellent against the Brewers last year in the wild card series. Pitch. Myers ready. The 1-2. Bouncing ball to third. Durbin coming in. Throw to first is just in time to get Hernandez. Both runners advance. Productive out for Teoscar Hernandez. Out number 1 in the 8th.
Now you got second, third. See if Pat Murphy decides to. He's gonna have to bring the infield in or put Edman on. You feel with the way that Yamamoto's throwing the ball right now, you got to try to keep this thing at a 4-1 game.
The only thing that might get Yamamoto out of the game at this point is the Dodger offense. If they are on a few more runs, they may give Dave Roberts a chance to pull the plug early, knowing he would be coming back around later in this series.
Still studying though.
Second and third, infield in with 1 out. And a base hit through for Edman. In to score is Smith. Muncy going to be held at third, and it's an RBI single. Tommy Edman makes it 5-1 Dodgers.
You guys, there's just professional hitters that let the game come to them in these situations, and Tommy Edman is one of those. That ball was up in the zone, but knowing the infield's in, right? Just got to squeeze it through somewhere and
just make hard contact somehow, some way.
That's going to draw a visit from the Brewer pitching coach, Chris Hook. Dodgers adding on in the late innings. Tommy Edman with his second hit of the game. He's got 4 RBIs this postseason. The NLCS MVP from a year ago, and he's made it 5-1. You can wear what the players are wearing on field during the postseason. Check out the largest selection of authentic jerseys, caps, hoodies, tees, and more. Visit MLBshop.com for your favorite postseason team gear.
Not an easy thing to do. Not on the roster for the division series. And now out here for the first time in quite some time pitching in a postseason game.
Robert Gasser getting loose in the Milwaukee pen. A couple of guys that spent time together as teammates in AAA. Brewers are at the end of their bullpen right here. Strike to Kike Hernandez.
Maybe not at the end of their bullpen, but the end of chasing.
Yeah.
With their elite
Some
bullpen.
point.
Yeah.
To the count. Right where the Dodgers want them. Dodgers carved out 10 hits tonight. 5 of them have come with 2 strikes, including Kike Hernandez twice. First and third, the 0-2.
Are you a little surprised they didn't walk Edman?
No. I think, you know, Edman and Kike, if you're throwing the ball correctly, when you feel like you can go after those guys. But I know what you're saying. Edman's such a contact guy, it's hard to strike him out or pop him up.
Get the righty-righty matchup here, right?
Edman was not wasting much time at the plate. Up there hacking. He and Ohtani with those singles through the hole between first and second to deliver runs tonight. That one misses. Two singles and a walk in the inning. Hernandez pops this one foul.
Both of these teams flying right after the game, working out tomorrow at Dodger Stadium.
It's interesting that the Brewers chose the early workout time. They want to get on the field at Dodger Stadium close to the time that Game 3 will be, which will be twilight part of the night in Los Angeles. It's a 3 o'clock local start.
get a big league meal at.
Another great call. Easy to do in LA. 2-2 to Kike Hernandez. Count goes full. Pages due next. Some long faces with Brewers fans here in Milwaukee. So much hope. First time they've hosted a championship series in 7 years. It's only the third time they've been in the NLCS. Ball four, and the bases are loaded. Play Ball is baseball's global youth initiative to highlight the fun and accessible ways to play our great game. To learn more, including how to find a league near you, go to playball.org. Follow @playball on X, Facebook, and Instagram.
That hits hard for a little fella.
Late night. Pages gets sawed off. It's a fan base just hungry for postseason success. The Brewers have had a lot of regular season success. They're in a great window, their best window in franchise history. But that 1982 Milwaukee team, the team that they were in the American League back then. Didn't go to the National League until 1998. But as an American League team, went to the World Series. That is the most famous team in Milwaukee baseball history. Those players are still legendary figures here. And even those players, Robin Yount and Cecil Cooper, Gorman Thomas, Paul Molitor, they say we want company. We need another World Series team, and that's the only World Series team this franchise has had. Franchise started in Seattle. They were the Pilots.
Don Money.
Yes. 1969 in Seattle, and then they moved to Milwaukee for the 1970 season. Longest droughts between World Series. Mariners at 48, Brewers at 43. Mariners off to a pretty good start to get to a World Series, up 2-0 in that series in the American League.
I don't think the Mariners have ever been to a World Series, right?
No.
Yeah.
What a season Cal Raleigh's had.
Pages pops this one up. Should stay playable. Joey Ortiz is over. Foul grounds. He's got it for the out. And all three runners stay put. Pages retired, and now Ohtani.
They got to believe here Gasser's going to come in to face Ohtani.
Pat Murphy will make the change. Another young Brewer hurler is going to get a matchup with Ohtani. Tobias Myers is out. Pitching change with 2 outs in the 8th. Dodgers lead 5-1. Vanda Pharmaceuticals, innovate in the service of people's pursuit of happiness. Started with a bang for Milwaukee. It has been all Dodgers since. They chased the Brewers starter in the sixth. Freddie Peralta giving up that home run with 2 outs in the sixth to Max Muncy. That made it 3-1. The Dodgers have added runs since. It's now 5-1. They have the bases loaded for Ohtani, and Robert Gasser is in.
Robert Gasser, who spent most of the year on the injured list, coming back from Tommy John surgery, made a couple of starts late in the year, pitched a couple of innings in the division series against the Cubs.
And he'll get his matchup with Ohtani. Well, you never know when a matchup emerges in a 7-game series, and I think Pat Murphy wants to see what this looks like in case you need it later. Ohtani with an RBI single his last time up. Violent hack.
Got away with a hanger on that one, trying to go back away. And you said it, though, no better way to welcome someone to an NLCS matchup than bases loaded and Shohei.
0-2 the count. Crowd trying to help out their young pitcher. And he strikes out Ohtani. Robert Gasser has a moment in a championship series. 3 pitches, he wipes out the game's greatest player. 5-1 Dodgers. They've added on in the 8th. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Brewers coming to bat.
And that's something Jamie Chadwell mentioned. We need him to step up his play and be a little bit more accurate. So far, outside of that pick he threw, 6 of 8.
Well, I talked about his legion of lethal weapons he has to get you out. He used 5 different pitches to get him out. But more importantly, Frenchie, the splitter, he got 8 outs with. In his last start, the Phillies were 3 for 5 off that splitter, a pitch that opposing batters in the regular season hit 134 off. So maybe it's back.
With a 43% K rate.
There you go.
He's been outstanding with that pitch tonight.
He's gone through 7, had a long window there between innings for Yamamoto with that long inning. Dodgers only got the 1 run. They stranded the bases loaded. Isaac Collins pinch hitting, immediately down 0-2. Yamamoto trying to back up Blake Snell's performance yesterday. Snell went 8 innings, struck out 10. Teams to have multiple starts of 8 innings or more in the same postseason. Got to go back to 2016. The division series matchup between the Giants and the Cubs. Giants had Madison Bumgarner and Johnny Cueto do it back-to-back. Matt Moore also went 8 in that series. Ironically, with that great starting pitching, the Cubs won that division series.
Yes, they did.
And that's what Yamamoto and Snell trying to do here to Milwaukee in the first 2 games of this series. First at bat for Collins here, pinch hitting for Joey Ortiz. And a called strike 3 right on the edge. Impeccable command all night long. Yamamoto with his 6th strikeout.
This four-seam fastball started in the middle and moved right to that corner. No sink, just drifted straight across home plate, right to that outside corner.
Top of the order here is Jackson Chourio. First ball swinging, Muncie's got it. 2 outs. And now if you're Dave Roberts, you have to start thinking seriously about allowing Yamamoto to finish this game.
I don't think he's going to finish this game.
So?
I just because of the big delay in the 8th inning, because the offense of the Dodgers, he's going to give him this inning, and I think Banda will probably finish it in the 9th. But let's see. I mean, we're watching baseball from the 70s and 80s now with this kind of starting pitching by the Dodgers.
Yeah, and if you go back to Game 2 of the wild card series, they threw him, I think, 113 pitches against the Reds. So his arm's built up. If it was 2 to 3 to 1, I think, but you might be right. You might see someone else.
On the ground, Edman backhands it and makes the play, and Yamamoto breezes through the 8th. Will he come back out for the 9th? What a performance. Back-to-back brilliant starts by the Dodger hurlers.
And that's something Jamie Chadwell mentioned. We need him to step up his play and be a little bit more accurate. So far, outside of that pick he threw, 6 of 8. It is fielded by Julian Gray. He's trying to go the opposite side of the field. Has a hole. Julian Gray.
The 2025 National League Championship Series is presented by Loan Depot. aces galore for this high-priced Dodger team, both posting 8 innings, and it sure looks like Yamamoto is still engaged in this game. Do we see him in this 9th inning as Robert Gasser drills Mookie Betts on the first pitch of this 9th inning? So Betts will reach. Gasser back out after he struck out Ohtani to end the 8th inning. Now gets a clean inning, but an immediate base runner got him on the elbow.
Yeah, left elbow.
And he doesn't wear one of those big pads like you see a lot of guys.
Not his throwing arm, but nonetheless painful. That ball dropped straight down. That was a square hit. So a base runner at first for Freddie Freeman, and we send it down to Lauren.
And Brian, I'm over here by the Dodger dugout. Yamamoto on the bench talking to his pitching coach. Asked Dave if Yamamoto will go back out for the 9th. He told me he will start the inning. Vesia will be behind him if need be.
Okay, good stuff. Good reporting, Lauren. I felt like Dave Roberts was thinking about Snell in the 9th last night. Obviously didn't go that way. Went with Sasaki. Sasaki has not gone back-to-back, even though he's kind of emerged as a Dodger closer. He's not in that bullpen mode just yet.
I mean, they're vying for back-to-back titles. It was the relievers last year that got him there, and it's going to have to be the starters this year.
No balls, 2 strikes on Freddie Freeman. There are no meaningless innings, though, for the Brewers and this pitcher right now, Robert Gasser, is coming back from Tommy John surgery. See Grant Anderson in the bullpen. Spent most of the season on the injured list as he's recovered from the elbow surgery. And hardly pitched in the big leagues. Most of his action this year in AAA. He's a prospect with the Brewers. They got him from San Diego Padres in the Josh Hader deal, which was a very controversial trade at the time. And Pat Murphy not afraid to roll him out there against the big hitters of the Dodgers, Ohtani and Betts and Freeman. Three and 2 the count. Freeman back up the middle and a base hit. Betts is going to turn and head to third base. Freeman on his way to second. Throw comes in, and Freeman's in with a hustle double. Freddie Freeman's first hit. And it's second and third with nobody out in the 9th.
Well, he had him 0-2, right? And then you threw 3 really not on the plate, and so you have to come to him there. And Freddie Freeman's such a professional hitter. Stays back on that pitch and just drives it up the middle.
Base camp presented by T-Mobile. So they're going to walk Will Smith. Intentional pass to load the bases.
And the Lawrence report with Yamamoto coming back out there. If they get a couple this inning and break this thing open, Ronnie, that might be it for him.
5-1 Dodgers, threatening for more here in the 9th.
I feel like Pat Murphy's not going to be very happy about that Freddie Freeman double.
I think you're right. South Frelick playing very deep in center field. And Freeman not blessed with great speed, but he took advantage and a hustle double.
He's the classic case. Maybe not great speed, but a great base runner.
Smart base runner.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Absolutely.
Max Muncy had a key homer in the 6th. That was where the game changed right there. Instead of a 2-1 Dodger lead going into the bottom of the 6th inning, Muncy homered with 2 outs, made it 3-1, and the Dodgers have scored in each of the last 3 innings and have them loaded with nobody out here in the 9th. 1-2 the count. And he got him. Gasser strikes him out. And the first out of the inning. Strikeouts of Ohtani and Muncy. And that'll be Gasser's last batter.
You know, Brian, the strikeout of Ohtani and Muncy with that breaking pitch puts Gasser into play, I think, for the rest of this series.
I think you're right. Good call. Grant Anderson will enter. And another pitching change with the Dodgers loaded up on the base paths. We'll set up the new pitcher when we come back. Teoscar Hernandez will hit. MLB postseason is brought to you by T-Mobile, now the best network in America. By DraftKings Sportsbook, your home for live betting. And by Progressive Insurance, 24/7 protection when you bundle home, auto, and motorcycle. Learn more at Progressive.com. American Family Field right off I-94. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Here's Grant Anderson on the pitch. Bases loaded behind him. He'll face Teoscar Hernandez.
You'll see a four-seamer and sinker, a three-quarter delivery to go along with a sweeper as well. Grant Anderson had 4 different stints with the Brewers this year. Got him from Texas. But boy, he set a career high in just about everything. Appearances, innings pitched, strikeouts.
Found his game at age 28. Bouncing ball to third. Got a chance for 2 here. Out at second. Out at first. And the Brewers get through that 9th inning with no runs. The Dodgers had them loaded with nobody out. Muncy a strikeout. Teoscar Hernandez a 5-4-3 double play. Last call for the Brewers. We go to the bottom of the 9th.
And that's something Jamie Chadwell mentioned. We need him to step up his play and be a little bit more accurate. So far, outside of that pick he threw, 6 of 8. It is fielded.
bullpenning. Yoshi Yamamoto is on the mound to try to finish this one. His 9th inning, first pitch strike in there. Pitch count is in great shape. Defense tightening up for the Dodgers. Justin Dean in center, moves Pages to right. Last time the Dodgers had a complete game in a postseason game, 2004. 21 years ago, Game 3 of the NLDS. Jose Lima.
Lima time.
Pitched a shutout. The late Jose Lima, one of the game's great characters. Right? And now Yoshinobu Yamamoto has a chance to do that. It is like the dodo bird in the modern game to see a pitcher finish a game. One of the rarest birds. William Contreras starts it. Foul ball out of play, makes it 1-2.
The last 9 outs Yamamoto has gotten, 8 of them have been ground balls, 13 ground ball outs this evening.
That was pitch number 100. It has been not only efficient, but very little stress behind him. He has retired 11 straight, 72 strikes in the 101 pitches he's thrown. That's a big strike percentage. 2-2 to Contreras. Count stays at 2-2.
And I think that's probably one of Dave Roberts' thought process, right? If there were some stressful pitches, he's at 101. My guy did everything. But the way he's been able to control the game, he said with Snell last night, pulled him, it got close, so not taking any chances tonight.
2-2. And Contreras flicks one foul. Yamamoto has hardly been on the stretch. That home run he gave up to Churiel in the first was on the first pitch. He's only thrown 19 pitches in this game from the stretch. Then in the windup, been in control the whole way. 2-2. And Contreras skies one to center. Dean settles under it. And there is out number 1.
That was a rare hanging breaking ball there from Yamamoto, but Contreras still couldn't handle it.
Ronnie, Yamamoto was a star in Japan for the Oryx Buffaloes in the Pacific League, Japanese major leagues. And while he has not thrown a complete game in the major leagues as a Dodger, that was a pretty regular occurrence in Japan.
Yeah, he had 14 complete games in Japan where they're allowed to throw more pitches than they are here. We have, of course, the most arbitrary 100-pitch mark, and that's for everyone. Doesn't matter if you're 6'8" or 6'4" or 5'10". 100 pitch is the mark.
Except in Little League, then you'll get 140 from the 12-year-old.
Yamamoto had a shoulder injury last year. He missed 3 months on the injured list. Came back, was ready for the postseason. There's a chopper to Yamamoto. He's got it. And the Dodgers are an out away from a 2-0 advantage in this best-of-7 series. And Yamamoto is an out away from a complete game gem. Signed a 12-year, $325 million deal. Largest contract for a pitcher in Major League history at the time. Not to mention the $50 million posting fee the Dodgers paid his team in Japan, Oryx. For moments like this, 2 of his 3 starts, superb in the postseason this year. 0-2 the count. A strike away. Yamamoto deals, and a foul ball by Vaughn.
Such a rhythmic kind of motion. Has that little delay at the bottom before he delivers. Rocks back and forth.
Here he comes, the 0-2. And a swing and a miss. And Yoshi Yamamoto with his crown jewel as a Dodger. It is a complete game. He goes the distance. And And the Dodgers win game 2 by a score of 5-1. And Yamamoto stands tall on this night in Milwaukee.
We need him to step up.
We don't get to see it very often, but the smile that comes on a starting pitcher's face when he's got 27 outs. What a gem. And this might be the best splitter of a lot of good splitters on the whole night. This one just took off.
He was outstanding tonight in complete control. You talked about it. Watch it drop off on this ball. He struggled with that pitch against the Phillies, made the adjustment tonight, and the Dodgers pitching staff has come in here 2 games, 5 hits and 2 runs, 18 strikeouts for the Brewers offense.
The Dodgers put on a pitching clinic here 2 days in Milwaukee. Their last 28 postseason games, they've won 22.
He got a wow for himself. Snell and Yamamoto. Snell was as good as it gets yesterday. One of the greatest postseason pitching performances in Dodger history. And Yamamoto backs it up here tonight with a complete game. The first in 21 years in Dodger postseason history. Let's send it down to Lauren Shahadi.
And with the fastball hunter, Max Muncy, most postseason home runs in Dodger franchise history. Did you know that?
I knew I was tied last year with JT and Seager, and it kind of means a lot to me. But the biggest thing is having so many opportunities to perform in the postseason and perform in the postseason. To me, that's been the biggest thing ever being a Dodger. You get to play in the postseason every year.
I mean, you had such a delayed reaction on that home run in the 6th. How much of yesterday's craziness played into that?
Oh, I thought he caught it again because I didn't see the ball bounce, so I thought he came down to it again. I was thinking about just running straight to center field and taking him down.
But you decided against it. You worked your butt off, Max, to get your body right and healthy because you love this. You love October. How's the payoff for you?
It's unbelievable. This is why you play baseball, is to get here, to play in this moment, and coming out here with 2 wins on the road. That's huge, and our starting pitching, unbelievable.
8 from Blake last night, and now 9. What can you say about the way they worked tonight?
It almost felt like Yoshi said he had to one-up Blake last night.
And he did.
Yeah, he did. He went the full distance, and both guys unbelievable. Had a really good idea what they want to do, and for Yoshi, giving up the leadoff homer to not let that face him at all is incredible.
Congratulations, Max.
Thank you.
History made tonight, Brian.
Thank you, Lauren. Thanks to Max Muncy. Yoshi Yamamoto retires the final 14 Brewers en route to a complete game victory in Game 2 of the National League Championship Series. The Dodgers win both games on the road in Milwaukee. They have not lost a road game in this postseason. They're 4-0, and they're going home for Game 3 in 2 days. Coming up, TBS Closer. It's presented by Genesis Motor America. Travel day tomorrow. We'll see you for Game 3 at Dodger Stadium. So long, everybody.